It is historic, and I can't even tell you what it feels like. I can't even describe it, to know that we did something big here. So we can do big things.
This week in Pennsylvania, it's been an historic year for women in the legislature, and they prioritize an historic bill that protects women. A bill to legalize so-called games of skill is moving at the Capitol. Lawmakers want to tax them and regulate them, but when can they actually get that done? And a bipartisan push in the Senate to open Pennsylvania's closed primaries. Independents are paying for elections. Shouldn't they be able to participate in them? That's how the argument goes anyway. We'll discuss. Hello and welcome to This Week in Pennsylvania. I'm Dennis Owens. We're covering hot topics in PA policy and politics, as well as the issues that are important to you and your family. Well, wonderful news for women at risk of breast cancer. The House unanimously passed legislation to require insurance companies to pay for preventative care for those women and others who have a high risk of hereditary cancers. The Senate previously passed the bill unanimously, so it's on its way to the governor, who's expected to sign it. Fittingly, the first woman House Speaker and first woman President Pro Tem of the Senate trumpeted its passage.
Not only will this legislation save lives, but it will also save money, because the earlier you are diagnosed, the easier and less expensive the treatments.
Insurance companies will be required to cover at no out-of-pocket costs or deductible genetic testing, MRIs, and ultrasounds. Survivors of childhood sexual abuse again returned to the state capitol, asking for justice and the chance to sue their abusers. The House passed a clean constitutional amendment bill this week, but because it doesn't exactly match the language in the Senate's version, which combines voter ID and regulatory amendments to the sex abuse amendment, it won't yet make it to the ballot for voters to decide. It isn't the first attempt to let survivors of child sexual abuse sue beyond their statute of limitations. Both chambers previously passed the amendment twice, but the Wolf administration failed to properly advertise it, so it was yanked and put back on the drawing board and put back into the political trenches. Senate Majority Leader Joe Pittman said his chamber's done dealing with it.
We were very consistent and clear on the priorities that embodied Senate Bill 1, 3 distinct and independent constitutional questions that should go before the voters. The House would be best served if they would pass Senate Bill 1 as we presented it to them.
Are they playing games with victims here? Yes, they are. And people of this Commonwealth need to call them out and say, pass this bill for victims, get it done.
Now, to get to the ballot, the Senate needs to pass the House version, which it said it won't, or the House needs to pass the Senate version, which it thus far has not. Well, you've probably seen skill games, those slot machine-like devices popping up across the state in the past several years. They've mostly operated in legal limbo. Police departments tried to seize them. The courts stopped those seizures. And now there's a push to legalize and tax them. How many machines are there? Well, that's unknown. Estimates are 30, 40, even 50,000. Unregulated, untaxed gaming machines. Democratic State Representative Donald Burgos and Republican Senator Gene Yaw want to implement one-time licensing fees, taxes, and yearly operating fees, and limit most places to 5 total machines. The bill would tax skills games at 16%. That's far below casino slot machines, which are taxed at 54%. It would also put skills machines under the auspices of the Department of Revenue instead of the Gaming Control Board.
Organizations like fraternal clubs and fire companies and VFWs viable, as well as keeping family businesses going. These small businesses are part of the very fabric of Pennsylvania, and without legal skill games, many would have a hard time keeping the lights on and giving back to the communities that they are in.
There is a significant tax revenue to be gained from the skill games. Estimates are somewhere between maybe $200 and $300 million a year to the Commonwealth. That seems to me to be a pretty easy decision to make.
Well, there is opposition, notably from the lottery and casinos, but with tens of thousands of machines out there and hundreds of millions of potential tax dollars, it's likely not a question of if they get legalized, but when. On May 16th, Pennsylvanians head to the polls, and except for special elections, only voters registered as Republican or Democrat can vote. Lawmakers want to change that because PA is one of just 9 states with closed primaries. More than 1.2 million registered voters are excluded from primary voting. A new bipartisan bill wants to open PA primaries and let unregistered voters choose which primary they'll vote in, allowing everyone to participate regardless of registration.
Well, there's a basic issue of fairness. All taxpayers pay for elections. It's about $75 million a year statewide, and we think that if you pay for it, you ought to be able to participate.
And you don't let independents weigh in on how they feel about their school boards and their property taxes and their school budgets. It is effectively taxation without representation.
I mean, I understand the legislators have good intentions. They want to get more participation.
We're going to talk more with him about that a little later in the show, but just a reminder, the deadline to register to vote in the primary election is this Monday, May 1st. Second chances for offenders. Lawmakers want to expand the Clean Slate program. Currently, the law cleans the record for people who committed nonviolent misdemeanors if they go 10 years without committing another crime. Well, now lawmakers want it to apply to drug-related felonies.
They're not an addict anymore. They've cleaned themselves up. They're most likely family people. Whether they're married, they have children, whatever it is, they're working in our communities, they're paying taxes in our communities. These are the individuals that we need to give a second chance.
Now, there's no timetable for that expansion, but officials hope it happens by the end of the year. The PA House LGBTQ plus Equality Caucus rallied for the Fairness Act, a bill currently moving through the state house. The bill would prohibit discrimination in the state based on sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity. It is on the fast track, voted out of the House Judiciary Committee, and is heading to a vote by the full House.
When we pass this Fairness Act, you will not be discriminated against lawfully. You will not lose your job or lose your housing. And that folks have been advocating for this for years and finally will know. Although it's long overdue, it's finally happening.
Governor Josh Shapiro said he'd sign it, but critics say it eliminates religious protections and gutted the right of churches to hire employees that share their religious beliefs about sexuality. State Senator Doug Mastriano and people impacted by substance use are celebrating a law that took effect this year. It requires all law enforcement agencies to report drug overdoses to a statewide mapping system. Right now, the mapping system is not available publicly, only to participating agencies. But advocates say this data can help governments and public health systems get resources where they're needed most and, as a result, save lives.
This new law will improve overdose response, help those with addictions get the treatment they need to get out of this web of this cycle of addiction, and as well as getting these drug traffickers off the streets.
The state has had more than 2,000 reports thus far this year. Mental health problems have exploded, especially since the pandemic. Advocates say the state needs to boost funding for mental health services. This week, members of the Rehabilitation and Community Providers Association asked lawmakers to provide $100 million, saying it's critical to better address the decades-long mental health crisis. Advocates say if funding is not increased, wait lists for treatment will only grow longer.
Do you mean the thousands of people on the intellectual and developmental disability wait list? Do you mean the young adult with severe autism who has no program? Do you mean the child who's waiting 6 months for a psychiatrist?
Exacerbating the problem, 50% of behavioral health providers in this state have reduced services, in large part because they're struggling to hire staff. Their workplace vacancy rate is 25%. Well, students from community colleges across the state are asking lawmakers to invest more in schools. They argue Pennsylvania's 15 community colleges are responsible for educating more than 200,000 students a year. The school helps fill critical gaps in the ongoing shortages for workers in key industries, especially nursing and public safety. The group also pointed out community colleges are the most affordable way for Pennsylvanians to get a post-secondary education, and then nearly half of their students are from minority communities. Up next, Republican Senator Dan Laughlin of Erie, whose bill would open PA's primaries, whose other bill bundled those constitutional amendments. We'll chat.